Hello, everyone. Welcome to today's webinar of how AI is changing WooCommerce and Shopify. My name is Ilanti Gomez. I'm the CEO and co-founder of Serviceform, and I'll be your host today. And with me, we have two fantastic, wonderful gentlemen who is here to share many exciting things on the topic around e-commerce and AI with us. So we have basically Jarkko Oksanen, the one with the beautiful shirt, who is the CTO and the CTO and co-founder of Serviceform, also my other half, and we have Aleksi Kuronen in the nice, beautiful green T-shirt, who is the e-commerce technical sales lead at Serviceform. So they have both been working with hundreds of online stores in Europe and have a ton of knowledge to share with us today. So I could have them introduce themselves. Alexei, can you tell us a bit about yourself?
Yes, thank you, Ira. Nice to meet you all. Like said, my name is Aleksi Kuronen, and I have been working at Serviceform for almost 5 years now. And during this 5 years, I have worked with quite a many e-com stores, like personally, and also trying to help others in our company to understand how can we really help e-com stores like prosper in their own business. And since I have been working here for almost 5 years now, I have seen some little e-com store businesses and some bigger ones, and we have created so many exciting things for the e-com platforms itself, and that's something that we are going to discuss with you today with Jarkko. And since Jarkko is more of the technical side, I have him with me here as well, but I'll let maybe Jarkko introduce himself.
Hello, I'm Jarkko. I'm the CTO or the nerd at Serviceform. That's my very official title. So I've been building pretty much everything by hand in the past, but now we have a nice big team that is building the things. We have tested a lot of things with conversion increasing across all kinds of industries. But now recently, in the last year, a little bit over a year, we've been very much focusing on e-com, and we have been seeing a lot of nice new things with the AI, and without AI, a lot of just things that best practices that everyone can take in. And in this chat today, we are trying to keep it very, very to the point and showing you like actual things, not just hyping around that AI will change everything. So that's the goal for today from my side. And nice to have you all here.
Nice, exciting. Okay. So one thing I would very much like to know is me and Jarkko right now, we are based in our Stockholm office in Sweden, and then we have Aleksi tuning in from Turku in Finland. What about the audience? Can you shoot a message into the chat and tell us where you're based in?
So the chat can be found on I think on the right side on your guys' screen, at least on my screen it's there.
Same for me.
For it actually.
We have someone from Scotland, someone from Lieto, which is in Finland. We have someone from Barcelona, someone from Turku, a little bit all over. And one of the things we're going to talk about today is also you guys got some annoying WhatsApp messages from us. So that is also one of the things we have seen that in the e-com world works quite nicely. So that's also one thing that we'll be touching on. But that was our way to try to get you to come here. And right now it looks like we have a participation rate which is higher than normal. So it seems like it works. So something to think about when you're hosting your next webinar is to send annoying WhatsApp messages to people, and we can dig a little bit more on those numbers as well later on.
Nice. Okay, let's definitely add WhatsApp to the list then for today's topics. But yes, like Jarkko said in today's webinar, for me personally as an individual, of course, the hype is exciting, but I'd like to be as practical as possible. So we do want to talk about the AI stuff, but let's not go only into the hype and talk about it generically, but let's actually talk about things that have worked on websites already, which you as an individual can take into action when you leave this webinar today. Because I really want you guys to be able to take something away that you didn't know about, which you can use. So saying that, let's set up a small agenda for the webinar, because we have time for the next, I think, altogether about 45 minutes. So yeah, it's about the next 40 minutes. So let's look around 3 topics. But Jarkko also mentioned WhatsApp, which is great. But let's focus around sales and conversion. And then let's go into the post-sale part, where things like order tracking and customer support comes into play. And then finally, towards the end, let's touch on a theme of the webinar, which is the big picture of AI around e-commerce and how it will basically relate to Shopify and WooCommerce websites. And also, if you have any questions you'd like to ask at any point or any thoughts to share, anything that even comes to mind, which would be fun to know about the industry, feel free to throw them into the chat, and we'll definitely answer the questions and go through the thoughts. I have one question for the audience. I was given instructions how to use the poll. Yes, but before the poll, actually remembered, Jarkko, yesterday you were telling me about this interesting conversation you recently had with a customer, and I think I really thought that was something that would be fun to share with everyone.
Yes, so I had a conversation with a very, very big Nordic e-com company, and they are redoing their whole website, and the project is going to take them a year, roughly. And then we got this interesting question. Actually, this has come up a couple of times, is that because we work in this industry, the question was more like, will people still buy stuff online in a year now that the AI stuff is here? So like the worry was pretty much that now that we are spending whole year to redo the website, does that make sense? And very quick answer to that is that yes, it makes sense. People are not going to be just buying products on ChatGPT or Gemini. They will still be going to your website, and most importantly, your website is the source of your data. So yes, that is the thing that we'll jump into a little bit deeper as well. But don't worry, the world is changing, but it's not completely changing.
Nice. Okay. All right. I'm also ready with my poll. I am going to send this in. Right. I think you see my question. So to kick things off, I'd basically like to ask everyone here something a bit more practical. Where do you believe you are losing customers in your online store at the moment? It could be, during cart abandonment, during when returns are happening, or when at the face of, people are looking for their products and maybe they cannot find them. And then during complaints, or there could be a completely other whole reason. So would love to hear.
Yeah, so we have the options here. We can see a lot of things are coming in for product discovery and search, then couple for cart abandonment. And these are like different parts of the e-com process. First person comes to the site, they want to find what they're looking for, then they add it to the cart, and then they might have some concerns or worries about this, and then they buy it, and then the annoying part is then after they buy it, then they want to return it. And then I've run an e-commerce store myself, and one of the most annoying things was to send back something that I already sold. So then that is also one annoying part.
Okay, so seems like our easy winner is during a discovery and the search phase, and then comes a cart abandonment as the second winner, and then the rest. Interesting. Jarkko, Alexi, can you share your thoughts on this, on how can we turn this around?
Yes, I can maybe go first about the product discovery on like more of the sites that I have seen on customers' website. And I think this product discovery / search is quite a common topic, since as everybody knows that now that AI is more like everywhere, we have these Gemini like summaries when you're Googling stuff and so on. People behave a lot differently in Google itself as well. And it of course transitions into the e-com stores. I find myself not even Googling with keywords anymore, but I'm rather like typing whole sentences. Like, I have this kind of problem, I have this type of budget, I'm looking for this type of solutions. And then I'm checking the Google Gemini summary instantly on Google. And I think that people have learned into this, and they expect these kind of things on the company's websites as well. Because we have the attention span of like 7 seconds or maybe 8 seconds. I think if you put your customers into a situation that you have to go through the filters and like clicking all the filters one by one, it's not so easy for the customer to go through the whole process. And what have we done now? We have actually tried to create this type of Gemini/ChatGPT motor on e-com stores with that e-com store's product data. And it's super nice because I can go and look for different kind of products in the different e-commerces, and I can exactly write down what I'm looking for, for what kind of occasion I'm looking the flowers for. For example, Jarkko is now sharing the screen as I talk. But this is maybe the top one thing that came into my mind when we were discussing about product discovery/search. But is there something, Jarkko, you would add into my speech?
Yeah, no, exactly. Because people, when you're searching for products on stores, you used to use the catalog and the pages and all of that, but it doesn't really suit everyone's way of searching. That when you're searching for a product, you would say, if you're searching for clothes, you would say that I have a fancy party next week. Could you show me some fancy dresses? And we have done a lot of examples and a lot of customers where that's possible now to search. You can search them from ChatGPT, but the issue is that the quality on these search results that you get here is not great yet. And the products are often outdated. And what we want to give, what we've seen that works for the product search is a lot that we give that same user interface onto your website. And you have different ways of, for example, here, that I wanted to pimp up my BMW, and then you can get an answer, and then it recommends you products that fit your car, for example. And this would be very hard for the ChatGPT to replicate from their perspective, which is going to happen as well. And we'll touch on how to get your products visible more on those. But exactly this, that the way of searching is changing into more of this, like instead of using the top place where you search for just the thing, that you can also search like with a longer keyword.
And
Jarkko, also like for me to ask, because since we talk about like Shopify and WooCommerce, everyone has their own product catalog and inventory. Is there like a particular structure that they should have in order to be able to do this?
Yes, in order to do our version, or
in order to be able to like to have it in a nice structured way where the end user can search.
Yeah, so the nice thing about using Shopify or WooCommerce is that the data is already most of the times, it's actually in a good format. And what we can do is that we have a Shopify plugin that we just plug into your site, and we get your product data in the correct format. And with WooCommerce the same, and based on that information we can do a nice search. So that works already very nicely out of the box. But also just for general in terms of getting your products visible on ChatGPT and other AI, it's good to use a platform that is going fast forward. So for example, with Shopify, we have seen that they are putting a lot of effort into making sure that all Shopify sites have visibility and the products have been tagged nicely. And a lot of the smaller ones are doing it as well, but it's just something good to check. And I actually made a tool that you can check is that does my product data look good, and we'll share that towards the end of the call as well.
Nice. I think, Alex, you were adding another point in, I'm not sure.
Yes, I was actually, because I was starting to think as well that it's also the fact that it's not only searching for the products, but it's also about me wanting to solve a problem, but I don't even know the full solution to, which leads to me explaining my problems. And from this came into mind this one story from last summer when I bought my first bicycle since I was an adult. And I was browsing for bicycles. It was some Wednesday evening, 10 o'clock or something like that. And I found a bicycle that I was very interested in. But since there wasn't anything that I could ask from, because I had this issue when I was buying it that I'm 170 centimeters tall, and my height was the exact fit for size S or M frames. but I didn't know which one to choose. And I couldn't find like anywhere a clear like explanation, why should I choose S or why should I choose M? I just had these like numbers that, okay, you're 170, you take S or M. But since I didn't want to buy a wrong-sized product, the next day I walked into the closest sports store here in Turku, and I said that, hey, I'm looking for a bike. What do you suggest me? And he asked me 2 questions, like, how big trips are you going to make? And are you going into the forest as well or only like highway biking? And after answering those kind of questions, the salespeople just told me that, hey, you should take size S. And I was sold. And because yesterday evening I couldn't get that answer from the e-com store, I went to another store and bought it from there. But if I got that answer like the evening before, I would certainly buy it from the e-com store. Just came into mind the story of last summer.
Yeah, that's a fun story. Yeah, I think also like I read this stat not too long ago where it says that like cart abandonments happen roughly about 70% on a desktop and 85% on mobile, and that's a massive number. It's not a shame. That's so much, revenue potential.
Yes.
And a good example of that would be that you're looking for a specific product, and then if the information is not available on the page, the AI can use the information it has to like augment the customer's knowledge about the question. So let's say that if we would ask here that are these shoes good for wide sole? So some people have wide soles in their shoes, for example. We can ask that question, and then it confirms to the customer that yes, these are good, so buy. So this kind of like encouragement to buy has also been very. We have seen that a lot of the questions that people ask our AI tools or other AI tools on the product pages are very specifically around like, is this a good product for my fit? But also, do you have similar shoes? Or like they find a product and they want to look at different variations of that, and the AI tools give very nice options for that as well, in terms of the search.
Yes. By the way, we actually got a question 3 minutes ago when we were discussing about the Shopify plugin. Could you walk us through the Shopify plugin you have and also show the analytics we can see to understand how customers are engaging with your solution?
Yeah, maybe I can go through that towards the end. That's a very good.
Yes.
It's a Shopify plugin. You install it and then you create the tools, or we create the tools for you, and then you see that lots of data and statistics. I'll run through that.
Lots of data.
We have so much data nowadays.
Yes, but also regarding the cart abandonment rate, I think it's one of the main KPIs that e-com stores should focus on, because it's an easy way to increase the sales without increasing the visitor count on your website. So we have, of course, tried to make our tools work in a way that also prevents people from abandoning their cart. And one way to do that is, for example, trying to reactivate the customer with offers or timers that are relevant to them. For example, I think one great way of emphasizing like the importance of buying is that when you have something in your cart and you would get this pop-up that, hey, if you order this in the next 18 minutes, we will ship it today, and you will probably get it tomorrow or the day after, and it kind of creates the feel or the need for urgency that I need to buy it now. And
that is something that Amazon does, and I love it personally. That gets me buying immediately.
Yes, and this actually, at least here in Finland, it's also we can use that kind of pop-up in a way as well, that if the customer has had, for example, 60 euros of stuff in his cart for 15 minutes, but he hasn't added anything, then we will show a pop-up that, hey, if you add 20 euros more, you will get a free shipping, because I don't know, it's just got some kind of psychological game that at least I tend to buy more every time that when I'm told that I'm close to the free delivery. So these kind of tools is something that we have been trying to do.
Yeah, now lots of different, it's very important that we activate with the right, like pop-ups are annoying, but if you put the right pop-up at the right time, for example, if a very nice example was that what Alex was saying about his bicycle purchase, is that if he doesn't know which one to choose, he'll just go away. But we have, for example, an exit intent, which is like, if you have stuff in the cart, and you're about to leave the page, then we show a pop-up. So for example, this is based on that you have something in your cart and you're about to leave, and then we show a specific message, and we can show like contextual information. And this is all coming from like the Shopify, WooCommerce thing. And the average e-com shop has a 70% abandonment rate. And with these kind of tools, we have seen that we can reduce that a couple of percentage points, which again adds a lot of new sales with the existing traffic, which is the nice part.
I think that also like because Julia from the chat also asked about like on the same question like a conversion, like what we were talking about, also happens during the checkout process. Anything you guys can add on that?
Yes.
I can maybe, if you are starting to share screen, I can talk while you are looking for something.
Then I'll confuse you.
Yes. I think if the customer is going to the checkout, I have learned that in checkout process, you shouldn't even that much like try to give any more options to the products, but rather trying to give those answers to FAQs. For example, if customer is at checkout, we should show a pop-up that, hey, if you have anything to ask from our payment methods or delivery methods or the shipping times or anything like that, you can ask them from here, because at that point, we are only trying to remove the obstacles of buying during the checkout process. We don't want to mess up the sales process by upselling on the checkout anymore, I would say.
Yeah,
and maybe a couple of examples of the pop-ups.
Yes. We have a few people who's very excited to see actual examples. So
yes,
we have this is a presentation, but you will get the idea that for example, different customizable pop-ups with different logic is that you could say that when you're just welcoming a person, you can show things like through a pop-up. This can be in the middle of the page, it can be in the bottom, but this kind of messaging we have seen that works, that you greet someone with an offer. It could be a 10% discount, join the newsletter, these kind of things. And then when they have logged in, or we can recognize the user, we can show like contextual information about them. So for example, that they last time ordered this, we can actually even pull up their information straight away and show it to them. Or then this one, the one that Alexi was talking about before, that if they're about to leave the page, we could show them a pop-up that says that we deliver our products every day if you order them before 5 p.m. So we can say that if you order within the next 15 minutes, we'll make sure to ship your package still today, to create that like urgency. Hopefully that answers the question. This is around the pop-ups, but then that's specifically for like engaging the user.
Nice. I'm sure there'll be more questions on this, but I still have 2 more topics to go through with you guys. So let's move a bit forward. So now that we've talked about, improving sales and conversion, can we also talk a little bit about what happens on the post-sale side? Because, that's like I mentioned earlier, that's why usually order tracking and customer support kicks in. Because personally, every time I buy something online, I'm usually very excited to already see, hey, where is it? Because it's like I'm waiting for my own personal gift. So, Alexi.
Yes, and based on the chats I have had with my customers, you're not probably the only one that is excited when they order something, because this order tracking functionality that we have built is been super nice for the customers. I am also that kind of buyer that when I'm ordering something online, I'm expecting it to arrive in 1 hour, even though I know it's going to take a couple of days. And our customer services struggle with that, because people then, of course, go into the e-commerce store and ask, hey, where is my product? But we have built this integration that we can fetch the data of the order status from the back end of the e-com store. And actually, Jarkko is showing this example right now and here. And for example, this Finnish company Masku managed to reduce the amount of these kind of questions by 70% in 3 months. And 70% with their volume, which is quite high, means many working hours every month. And their customer service can actually focus on something that needs the human to like solve problems. There are lots of tickets that of course always needs humans, but we have tried to make it kind of self-service that, hey, you can check actually where your order is going from this web store as well.
Yeah, and good example is that I've talked to so many e-com companies, and we have seen a lot of them actually having the same problem, that you have maybe 1 to 2 hours that you need to spend every day answering these kind of questions around order tracking. So we just talked with a Spanish fashion brand, and they apparently spend 2 hours per day answering just questions around order status. And what they should be focusing on is the sales and the real human aspect of e-commerce and the customer support, not the part which can be automated, which is like order tracking. And with Shopify, we can do a lot more. With WooCommerce, we can do a lot more. So for example, with AI, you can create also like return structures that you have to have a few things that comes from the AI, and then we can do a lot of things actually using Shopify.
Yes, and also regarding like the order tracking itself, it's of course not only order tracking. There is after sales. There are returns. There are wrongly chosen products which need to be returned and stuff like that. And since people tend to ask about these kind of questions as well, AI will mostly provide the easy answers, that how do you return and where do you ship the products to and so on. So it's not only the order tracking, but everything else post-sales as well.
Nice. Did we have a poll around this?
Yes, I have. Yes, if you're ready to move on to the next topic, I have a poll that I would like to share. Yes. So I'd love to ask the audience one more question. If you could duplicate yourself with one AI tool, which area of your business would you basically want to do this in? And it can also be something that's outside of these options, because we are very curious to know.
Lots of marketing.
Yeah.
And managing product inventory.
So the nice thing with Shopify and WooCommerce is that WooCommerce strategy has been more about enabling developers to do a lot of things. So there's a massive plugin workspace and everything is very open. And with Shopify, they are still open, but they're also building a lot of new things by themselves into the system. For example, writing product descriptions. We also have a tool, by the way, that goes through with your product feed. It goes through every single product you do and creates a vector, which is used for search. So if someone searches for red shoes, we can allow them to be shown, like if someone is like, what fits with a red dress, then we can group them together like programmatically. So the search can be super nice and fast as well. And that same logic can be used to enhance your product descriptions and get more information there. But that is an exciting topic, is to how to increase or manage your product inventory as well with AI support.
So like marketing was the winner, and then the second highest is around customer support, answering customer support questions. Then we have managing product inventory, and then finally ad creation.
Very interesting. I was thinking that answering customer support would be like the clear winner, but not this time.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of things you do on marketing that you would like to automate. We have worked with a lot of, now that you have access to Shopify, you have access to WooCommerce, what you can do is you can pull in all of the customers that you have in the past, see their order history, and you can segment them that, okay, these people have bought dresses. And then you can create a segment, which is people who buy dresses. And then what you could do is make a campaign and send that only to those people who buy dresses. So all these kind of things you can do. And of course, based on, it can be quite personalized and segments can be quite small. And with AI help, you can do a lot of help, do things there. With ad creation, we have seen some crazy stuff in the bigger side with larger e-com companies that they run like nano banana with very different variations and create automatic multiple ad variations. which is exciting. We are not doing that. We want to go to that world. Maybe one day. But I've seen a lot of interesting ideas around ad creation as well. Then on the last two, we actually have a lot of experience, mainly on the customer support side, is that we have seen that AI can answer up to 70% of basic questions, and then the 30% would be the questions that you actually want to answer. So these are more sales-related upsells, things like, what if I buy this? Should I buy this and this and this? And those are the things where you can create like a package for the customer. AI can do part of it, but it's in a lot of cases, it's still good that there is a human who can take it further. And we had a fashion example as well for this, is that someone wants to come in and do a fitting, for example, and that you still want the person to come and do a fitting for the garment, but then you don't want to support like the basic questions that can be found on your website or basic product questions.
Yeah, and it's kind of an humble brag, but I think the answering customer support questions is probably thing that we can already do like super well on e-com stores, like literally super well. so we can automate lots of the questions that e-com stores don't want, but then again, we never can force the customers to like only have chat with AI bots, but we can of course try to reduce the workload, and the numbers tell us pretty nicely that 70% of those we can cut off already. So it's quite a start already.
We got a nice question from Juha as well. Could we share a couple of URLs? I will share a couple
just before that, Jarkko, I just want to touch on the marketing part, because we were talking about a WhatsApp. Because when it comes to marketing, is where a promotional emails and newsletters. When it comes to as an e-com brand that goes out, but something that I think because WhatsApp is a heavily used channel by a lot of people, but it's overlooked in terms of using that as a channel to communicate. Could you touch a bit on that in terms of what we did today?
On the WhatsApp side?
Yes.
Yeah, so the same tool that you train to answer any customer questions, it can be used in multiple channels. So if we train a nice AI for your e-com, you can use it in your website, you can use it on WhatsApp, and you can also use it in your customer support site to create drafts on emails. So that is the very nice part that we have created for car sales, multiple hundreds of WhatsApp bots actually. And on the e-com side, it's a new thing, but we are testing with a few customers that how does the AI work nicely in WhatsApp and actually recommend you products in WhatsApp as well, because that's a channel that surprisingly many people use. In the car sales industry, we see 50% of the leads coming nowadays from WhatsApp. And in e-commerce, the stores that have had it, there's a lot of traffic there as well. Maybe 30 to 40% of the customers prefer to use the WhatsApp as a conversation channel. And we use it a lot for our own case. We use it a lot for like outbound, not outbound, this kind of stuff that we did in this, like making sure that you
nurturing stuff, like
nurturing and offers. In the Nordics, we still see that WhatsApp is very personal. So for that, I would make sure that everyone really opts in, because if you start using WhatsApp, you will get quickly banned if you use it wrong. But if someone is like coming to a webinar, then they might expect that we will remind them. And if they don't, they can still say no. But we have seen there is, if you start doing outbound or you just email your existing lists, you WhatsApp your existing list, that's not the way to go. So I would think about creating like a WhatsApp newsletter and email newsletter separately, because the people want to be contacted in their own way. But the customer support channel, that is where WhatsApp, you just get a number, you link it to your website, and people can chat with you through that number.
Yeah, like I also very much enjoy when like I have bought something from an online store, and then from time to time I get these WhatsApp messages saying, hey, we have this discount. And that's something I would check because it's on my phone, on my WhatsApp, and it's very personal. But nice. Yes, Juha asked the question. Were you answering it, Jarkko?
Yes. So the nice thing in the bigger stores is that what we have learned is that a good example is that you have tens of thousands of SKUs. So then what we have learned is that if we make one AI which knows 100,000 products, the issue is that the user's category selection will get very vague. And you can create a bot that has hundreds of thousands of products, but then if the person is talking about a specific category, making the AI stay in that category is quite difficult. So what we have done with these examples is that we split the website usually into 4 to 5 different categories of products, which are like these massive categories, not like tiny categories. And then we first ensure that the customer is talking about a specific category to limit down the amount of issues. So a good example is in the fishing industry, where you have different types of fishing. You have what is this, like
fly fishing and lure fishing and stuff like this.
yeah, so different types of fishing. So when you are talking about rods, you want to make sure that you stick on the topic of the type of rod, and that's where it helps to split the product data into different massive categories, so to say. And that has been the solution there. And yes, we'll share a couple of examples. Don't wanna push them here, but we'll share to everyone a couple of examples that we've done.
Yes, and also Atilda asked this question about, could you walk us through the Shopify plugin you have, and also show the analytics we can see to understand how customers are engaging with your solution?
Yes, I will do that very, very quickly. Shopify service form here. So the plugin is basic. Here you can see. So to install what we have, you would go to Shopify, and in Shopify App Store, this is now something else. You would just find service form on the top here, and then you can install this, and you can play around, and you would create an account and link it to this. It's brand new. We don't have any ratings, so you can go and rate it if you want. But there's a lot of people. We have a free tier, which actually gives you a nice product feed for free if you want to play with that. But how it actually works later on with the data is that you get a full analytics of your site with everything there, how the AI answers, what kind of newsletter leads you have. This is some test data. You can see examples here. And then you will see deeper into different, like what the AI did, what the customers did there, what kind of actions they took. You can see the purchases, what is the flow, what is the cart abandonment percentage, and then we track different values, and we track your whole conversion funnel and all this kind of fun. And so our goal is that with these statistics, which we can go through with more detail if you want, we can prove that every penny that you spend on us is coming back in money.
And for example, one number from a customer that we have been live not too long yet with, maybe a couple of weeks, but I checked the numbers today, and actually the average order value after using our tools was 14% more than without using our tools. So that's quite nice number already.
Indeed. Nice. Do we have any more questions? We have a couple more minutes. So if anyone has something, feel free to throw it into the chat or the Q&A section. I am a little confused where it goes.
Yeah, maybe still on the analytics part. So how we do the tracking is that we will also track like the whole pathway of your user, provided that they accept the cookies. But we will track the whole pathway of your user from where they came. You can actually see what campaign they came from. You can track every single step all the way to the purchase. So even the purchases that are not with the AI tools are tracked. So you can also use our stuff to track your normal e-com activity. And it's kind of nice to see also like this campaign works better on mobile. This doesn't, this kind of information. Okay, I had this one I wanted to share is that if you want to get your stuff visible on ChatGPT, the other ones I'm posting into the chat, you can go try it. But the idea is that if you go here and you want to check, is my product looking good for Google? Just made this today. It's very simple, but you can put your product URL, run the schema check, and it will give you like, yes, my website is now having nice schema that the internet and AI can understand nicely. So you can try this without putting a product URL on the check here, and we can see if it finds it correctly, because this is how the scrapers will look at your site, and ideally you would be easy to scrape for the AI. And of course, on top of that as well, it would be great if you are listing your products on the Google shopping system, on the Google Shopping feed, and just making sure that you're visible in SEO, in the traditional SEO, because if you're visible there, you will be also visible for the AI models.
All right. I don't think we have any more questions then. Okay. Thank you everyone for tuning in, and thank you very much to Alexi and Jarkko for running the webinar with me. And I think after the webinar is over, I will send you a link that Jarkko shared, as well as you will receive a copy of the recording of the webinar.
Also, one more thing, we are hosting an event with Google in Helsinki next week. If someone is interested in popping by, we have champagne and topic deeper on e-commerce, and we will try to put a champagne glass in your hand before we talk, so it's more entertaining. And Google's office is nice, so if you're interested, we'll send a link to you that you can pop by if you want to. And that's in Helsinki. We're doing something in London as well later. We did one in Stockholm earlier.
And also in Barcelona soon.
Yes, exactly.
All right, wonderful. Thank you very much. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Bye.
Thank you.